is that there were two science teachers that decided to post videos for students that had been absent in class, and those videos were going to reteach them, so they didn't have to spend as much time in the classroom discussing and reteaching and doing those lessons over and over again with those students that were absent. So instead, that they then posted and shared with the students. So that way, if they were absent, then they still got the content. And it also allowed for students that needed to be retaught certain content that they could go back and view it. And then what they found with that is that by doing these lectures in the classroom instruction via the video that students could then watch at home, that it allowed for more project-based learning or a classroom environment for. So this is really that additional lecture would be, or a mini lesson, or however you want to look at it, that would be happening in the classroom during class time. That would be happening at home prior to the student coming into class. So then that whole concept of what's happening in the classroom is now happening at home. And then the idea that these projects and these kind of extensions of their learning and kind of the deeper connection of the lesson that would be happening at home through homework, especially I see that more so in the project sense, but those things that would be happening at home are now happening in the classroom. A lot of the benefits that I noted with the flipped classroom concept is that they allowed to give the students the one-on-one focus and zero in on extending a higher student's learning and giving them those extension opportunities and really challenging them and pushing them and kind of circling back to the students that were struggling a little bit and giving them the supports that they needed. So it allowed the teacher more time in the classroom, and it also allowed for more opportunities for the students to really connect and make the information their own. What I think some of the misconceptions are with this flipped classroom concept is that it's all just videos, that the video is the key part to the flipped classroom. However, I think the key part is what's actually happening in the classroom as a result of taking this main lesson and just putting it into one video that then can be looked at over and over again and retaught and connected with again by a student over time. That time that a teacher would be taking is now redesigned to meet the student where they are and kind of extend and develop the concept of content and skill acquisition. And so, sorry, I was losing my words for a second. Anyway, I think that this flipped classroom concept is really excellent. I really like what it looks like and what it could be like for an older classroom, for middle school or higher, where that independence and that requirement for connecting with that video content at home is a plus. I think that for someone like myself that's in elementary school, asking my fourth graders to watch a video prior to coming to class, there's a lot of variables that are going to be affecting their ability to do that. No internet access, no computer access, not understanding how to log in into video or to access the video, not having the time. Maybe mom had other plans. Those kinds of things. Like there's not. What I notice with my students is that there's not a lot of that ownership over those kinds of tasks to be done at home. So for my younger students, I still think that the mini lessons and the instruction given during the class time is needed. However, we do use things like the Khan Academy for my math instructions and for those strategies that we then also use to share with parents when a new strategy is taught in math. And that helps to support, if a student's needing a little extra help or on homework assignments that maybe the parent doesn't understand a new strategy for the math, that they can then assist in that at home. And it helps with that connection and the consistency between the classroom and what's being supported at home also. I think for the higher education, that is definitely a plus. I did see some negative things in looking at the flipped classroom, such as, maybe a socioeconomic situation in which internet and computers aren't accessible. The teacher doesn't have the equipment to make the videos, those kinds of things that can be addressed in several different ways. I saw one of the solutions was to create DVDs, but then you're requiring that the teacher spend that time doing that. So then it kind of are the perks of it really outweighing the cons, I guess. So what I see as valuable is that taking out the lecture and really spending that time with the student one-on-one and really engaging them in their own learning process and allowing them to do more project-based learning and more experienced learning is a key. I'm going to keep rambling, so I'm going to end this, but it was an excellent concept, and I would really like to see it used for the older learners.